Today on the Chairman's Circle, a look at the consulates and trade offices that call Fulton County home. And we will hear from Ambassador Andrew Young in his own words about how the Consular Corps helped to make Atlanta an Olympic city. I'm Rob Pitts, and the Chairman's Circle is next. Hello and welcome to the Chairman's Circle. I'm Fulton County Commission Chairman Rob Pitts. I'm pleased to bring this program to you where we meet interesting people, talk about important issues, and give you a chance to weigh in on social media. So let's get to it. In this edition, I'm excited to share with you what is a first for Fulton County government. At my invitation, more than 24 foreign country representatives gathered for our initial Chairman's Consular Corps reception. What an amazing event. More on that reception in a moment, but first let me give you some background. According to the state of Georgia's Department of Economic Development, Georgia is home to 69 consulates from around the world, primarily located here in Fulton County. These offices help foster economic, commercial, scientific, and cultural relations between the foreign governments they represent and the southeastern United States. Consular offices also safeguard the interests of their native countries or territories and its citizens traveling or residing in their district. Approximately 69 foreign governments have operations in Georgia to promote trade between their countries and the states, and most of them call Fulton County, Georgia home. It was that group that I was most interested in meeting with, as we all have mutual goals. Don't just take my word for it. Listen to these representatives from various foreign governments about why a relationship with Fulton County is so important.
But I come to Fulton County very often because it's one of the biggest economic engines in Atlanta, and one can't really do business in this city without coming through Fulton County. I have a great appreciation for the influence that Fulton County has on this economy of Atlanta, and the fact that many of the consular or diplomatic representatives actually reside in Fulton County. It means that it's important for me to be part of this event.
First of all, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for having me, for having the Consular Corps. Thank you especially to Chairman Pitts for organizing this event. I thought it was a wonderful opportunity for us to all connect, to see each other after a long summer where we have been busy with work, busy with family and friends, and a little bit of vacation as well. It was wonderful to come together to talk about the opportunities that the Consular Corps can fulfill with Fulton County, the opportunities especially for Canada and Fulton County. So it was fantastic. It was wonderful.
It's very important that we connect with the local authorities. And Fulton County is a very important county for us. As is Atlanta, as is Georgia. You might know that Belgium and Georgia have very long-standing and strong ties. Belgium and Atlanta have also very strong ties. As a matter of fact, the first international airliner operating in Hartsfield-Jackson was Sabena, was our Belgian national carrier, out in the 70s. Sabena went bankrupt meanwhile, but Delta took over that slot, and we still have that direct flight between Atlanta and Brussels. And it is so important, especially for the Belgian businessmen to come to Georgia and Atlanta. And in Fulton we have some very good Belgian companies. We have a pharmaceutical company, we have engineering companies, we have manufacturing companies in Fulton County. So, and I hope also to strengthen that, and what is the better way than knowing people, networking, and that's why these kind of events are so important.
We all love to support wherever we're invited and whatever we can do to make our community and your community one big happy family. It's nice to see most of the Consular Corps was able to make it out, so I'm happy for that, and it was nice meeting the Commission as well.
I really wanted to get to know the establishment of Georgia, especially the Consular Corps members, and especially to meet the different commissioners, who I read about, and I know they're doing great work in Georgia. I would like to see more collaboration between Georgia and the different countries in general, and particularly my country, which is Jamaica. I think we have a lot in common, and we also have a lot of talent where we could all benefit, and it is my intention to bring the good part of my country here and to collaborate with the good part of your country to benefit both countries.
Now, it's great hearing how excited they are about our partnership and our work ahead. As I shared with the group, their presence helps to foster deeper economic and cultural exchanges, and by extension, a greater understanding about Fulton County. During the reception, the group had a chance to meet and interact with Fulton leaders, including two of my colleagues on the board, Commissioner Liz Hausman and Commissioner Bob Ellis. Also, the executive leadership team led by our county manager, Mr. Dick Anderson, and even Fulton County's own tax commissioner, Dr. Arthur Ferdinand, who, by the way, is a native of Trinidad and Tobago. The mission of the Consular Corps is also an integral part of our recipe for future success. As such, we must work together to achieve it. In fact, we've already seen how beneficial this group has been through the years. And when we come back, Ambassador Andrew Young will share how the Consular Corps helped make Atlanta an Olympic city. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Chairman's Circle. Perhaps the highlight for my guests at our first Consular Corps reception came when Ambassador Andrew Young stood to address the group for what was supposed to be just a simple greeting. But if anyone knows Andy, then you know that he took his time and once again left an indelible impression. Take a look.
Now, I want to thank Rob for bringing us together. For we've been together longer and in more ways than any of us imagined. I've always given the Consular Corps a lot of the credit for the growth and development and expansion and even the existence of Atlanta. And had it not been for an active Consular Corps, we probably would not have been able to celebrate the Olympics. But the Olympics was just sort of something along the way. Nobody thought it was possible, and everybody thought that we would be in debt forever, and they didn't think we had a chance. But the reason I went with Billy Payne and decided we could do this was I looked down the list of countries. I think we had 44 countries represented in the Consular Corps then. And we didn't need but 85 votes on the Olympic Committee. And by the time I got through counting the Consular Corps and the key businesses here from other countries, I counted 55. We actually got 53 of those votes for the Olympics. And so I think that it's because of your experience here and your belief in us and the belief of your predecessors that we were able to become an Olympic city. This is my phone ringing, and forgive me. I don't know who it is, but I'll cut it down. But we're not through. I think that all of us know that the world is more insecure now than it's been in a long time. We've got a right to be insecure about the weather. We've got a right to be insecure about the divisions that are emerging almost everywhere. And I thought for a long time with Martin Luther King for human rights and for the end of apartheid and the desegregation of South Africa. But then to realize that the South African embassy has closed the Nigerian embassy, and the Nigerian embassy has closed the South African embassy because of tensions between Nigerians and South Africans, all of whom are black. And we always knew that color wasn't what made the difference. That there are just many things that divide almost all of our countries. But it's the diplomatic corps that has sort of kept the world together. And we've often had to fight wars to do that. Atlanta's tried to find a way to do it without a struggle, we have been sort of named the city of nonviolence because we learned from India. But India's nonviolence was essentially because the United Kingdom granted India independence, and I don't think a single Englishman was killed. And there's still a very, very good relationship between England and India. It's almost got to be that way everywhere. No matter what our past has been, as Martin Luther King used to say, that we will either learn to live together as brothers and sisters, or we will perish together as fools. Now, we've been through a lot. We dealt with the whole question of nuclear war, and we have dealt with the question of nationalism and international conflict. But the internal insecurities that exist in all of our countries, I think we have to see as progress, not falling back. Things are happening so fast. And I got one thing to blame. And that's what was just ringing a little while. No government is safe as long as there's cell phones. There's no security. We have got to learn to understand each other. We're going to have to learn to speak the same languages, or at least listen to one another as we speak whatever language we speak. And I think that we in Atlanta have always appreciated the fact that the Consular Corps gives us a chance to get to know each other, to understand each other's problems, but also to try to solve them here in this environment in Atlanta. Atlanta is now launching a new effort. In the 60s, we became a city too busy to hate. A lot of folks still hate it, but we weren't much different from Birmingham, except the leadership emerged and said, no, we're going to be a city too busy to hate. Now the leadership of the city of Atlanta, the Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary clubs, the universities are coming together and saying Atlanta is going to be a city of peace. And we have a delegation now going to Mexico to the former Nobel Peace Prize winners coming together. And we just happen to have 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners from this city, or from this state, both Jimmy Carter and Martin Luther King. And so the spirit of peace, of enlightenment, of trade, free trade, of partnerships is something that we value. And we know that you are an essential part of the continued existence of peace and prosperity for us, and I hope we for you. And so let's keep on keeping on and don't get discouraged. I said last night at the Smart City conference, said Atlanta's always been a smart city. Since Mayor Hartsfield gave Delta all the land they wanted for $1 a year for 50 years if they would move here and help us build an airport. The airport then was a Quonset hut, not any bigger than this room, but he had jet length runways, and jets were not flying yet. But there's always been a vision of the future that we could make happen here. And you're a part of that. And you've been more helpful in making that happen than we could ever say thank you for. But God has blessed us with your presence. And we hope to continue to enjoy that presence and to share the lessons that we've learned. And we want to really and truly become a city of peace that exports peace and prosperity as we do Coca-Cola. And if you can sell Coca-Cola anywhere and everywhere in the world, you sure will be able to sell peace. God bless you.
And God bless you, Ambassador Young. And when we come back, I will share my thoughts on why these international relationships are critical for the continued success of Fulton County government. Fulton County is the economic engine of the state of Georgia and the southeastern part of the United States. We serve as home to many of the finest corporations in the country. Our economy and communities are stronger because of our international relationships. It's for that reason that I hosted the first annual Chairman's Consular Corps reception. But we're not stopping there. We try our best to visit our counterparts overseas to update them about developments in Fulton County and to promote our unique advantages. We are eager to learn about the challenges and developments in their countries, as well as how they tackle such issues. Just one example is a relationship with India. After my official meeting with the Consul General from India, Dr. Kulkarni, we both understood the need for a partnership and alliance with India in Fulton County. And for that reason, Consul General Kulkarni and I agreed that a stronger relationship is critical. We're organizing a trade mission with our select Fulton economic development offices to discuss economic development opportunities in key industries, including film and entertainment, transportation, aviation, information technology, and medical research. We're really looking forward to this. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Please connect with me online to let me know what you think about this topic or any other. Well, that's our time. Thank you for yours. We'll see you next time on the Chairman's Circle.